That test was hard. I was relieved to do so good on it. I wouldn't say good. I would say acceptable. Oh, I thought it was good. It's fine. Top 10% of your class at Aledo. And that's a big school. Graduating from Aledo in May? No, I'm studying abroad now. Europe? Midland. Ah, and what precipitated such a life-altering move? Precipitated? Yes, it hasn't rained since I moved there. Why did you move there? My parents got back together, and my father lives there. Oil business? Yes, ma'am. No interest in tech? Well, I was accepted to tech, but I just feel I need a fresh start. It seems like you've been given priority walk-on status with the cheerleading corps. Were you going to cheer for tech? Well, I was just going there for my boyfriend, who scored a 17 on his act, so off to junior college for him in Kilgore. And my daddy won't let me go east of I-35, unless it's a shop in Dallas. Not that I would go to junior college for a boy. If he was playing at a junior college in the Maldives, I wouldn't go. None of that is what I asked you. I asked why you weren't cheering for tech, but you are cheering for TCU. TCU doesn't have a policy against cheerleaders dating athletes, and that was an issue for you? Very much. Would you like me to explain my position on the subject? I would be fascinated to hear your position on the subject. Well, it seems detrimental to humanity in general that a university would try to keep the prettiest girls from dating the tallest, most athletic boys, who could then get married and make babies that are like really pretty and athletic, like even more athletic than their parents. It's like if you breed a lab to a sheepdog, you have, well, I don't know what you have, but you don't have a lab and you don't have a sheepdog. But if you take two really good-looking labs, like from the Wild Rose Kennel at the Dallas Gun Club, then the puppies will be like super retrievers. And I just think that we're wasting a real opportunity with these restrictive policies. I'm sorry. I'm really nervous. And I feel like this interview is getting away from me here. I really want to go here. And I already ordered my uniform and the training sweats and the cover-up, but not the white ones. It's the purple ones with like the cute little horned frog in white above the pocket, which isn't a frog at all. It's a lizard. Could I have a tissue? Thank you. Asterisk, one simple question made the whole room go silent. And in that moment, Ainsley realized this interview was not just about college. It was about her name, her family, and the life she wants to escape. The room feels colder than it should. Ainsley sits across from three serious faces, their eyes locked on her like they already know more about her than she expected. The table between them is small, but it feels like a wall. Outside the window, the world moves on like normal, students walking, cars passing, life going forward. But inside this room, time slows down. This is not just a college interview. This is a test of who she really is. In Landman, we have seen Ainsley grow up around oil fields, big deals, and powerful men who control land and money. She is used to strong voices and serious talks. But this feels different. This is about her future, not her father's business. She keeps her hands still on her lap, but her fingers pressed tightly together. She has prepared for this day for weeks. She practiced answers in the mirror. She told herself to smile, to speak clearly, to stay calm. But no one can fully prepare for a question that hits your heart. One of the panel members leans forward and asks her about responsibility. Not just schoolwork. Not just leadership. Responsibility to community. Responsibility to truth. Responsibility when your family's work affects other people's lives. For a second, she stops breathing, because that question is not random. They know who her father is. They know the land deals. They know the fights between landowners and oil companies. They know the headlines. And now they are watching her, waiting to see if she will defend it or distance herself from it. This moment changes everything. Ainsley could give a safe answer. She could speak in careful words and say what they want to hear. She could protect her family's name. That would be easy. But something inside her shifts. We see it in her eyes. This is her chance to show that she is more than just someone's daughter. More than just part of a powerful oil family. She is standing at a door that could lead her far away from that world. Her voice starts calm. She talks about growing up seeing both sides, the success and the struggle. She speaks about learning that every decision has weight. And as she talks, the nervous girl fades. What we see instead is someone honest. Someone thinking deeply. Someone who has watched adults make hard choices and now wants to choose differently. This interview is not loud. There are no explosions. No dramatic fights. But the tension is strong. Because this is the first time Ainsley speaks for herself, without her father in the room, without family power behind her. Just her thoughts. Just her truth. And that is what makes this scene so powerful. In that quiet room, Ainsley is not just trying to get into college. She is trying to decide what kind of person she wants to become. Everyone in town knows her last name before they know her. When people look at Ainsley, they don't just see a young woman with dreams of college. They see the daughter of a powerful man in the oil business. In Landman, her world is built around land deals, long phone calls, late-night meetings, and the constant pressure to win. She grew up hearing adults talk about money, contracts, and control. While other kids talked about school dances and weekend trips, Ainsley listened to talks about drilling sites and risky decisions. That kind of childhood shapes a person in ways they don't even understand at first. From the outside, her life looks perfect. Big house. Strong father. A name that opens doors. But behind that image, there is a quiet struggle. Ainsley has always lived in the shadow of her father's world. People assume she will follow the same path. They expect her to be strong, sharp, and ready to take part in the same tough business. No one stops to ask what she actually wants. And that is where her real story begins. Ainsley is not weak. She is not lost. But she is searching. Growing up around power has made her observant. She sees how decisions affect real families. She notices the tension in small towns when oil companies move in. She hears the arguments that happen behind closed doors. And even when she stays quiet, she is thinking. She is learning. She is building her own opinion. There is also the pressure of being the good daughter. She loves her father. She respects how hard he works. But love does not mean agreement. And that quiet difference inside her heart creates conflict. Does she protect the family name no matter what? Or does she follow her own sense of right and wrong? That question follows her everywhere, even into the college interview room. What makes Ainsley unique is not just her background. It's the fact that she stands between two worlds. One world is built on power and control. The other is built on choice and freedom. College represents more than education for her. It represents space. Space to think without pressure. Space to become someone outside the oil fields. Space to create an identity that is fully hers. And deep down, that is what she wants most. Not to run away from her family, but to prove that she is more than the role people gave her. She is not just a landman's daughter. She is a young woman ready to decide her own future, even if that decision comes with pain. Before Ainsley even walks into a room, her last name arrives first. It carries power. It carries money. It carries stories, some proud, some painful. In Landman, that name is tied to oil fields, land fights, and hard choices. And while her father wears that name like armor, Ainsley feels it like weight on her shoulders. She never asked for the pressure, but it has followed her since childhood. Teachers looked at her differently. Friends whispered when business deals made headlines. Some people treated her with respect. Others looked at her with quiet anger. Even when she tried to act like a normal teenager, the world kept reminding her that she was not just Ainsley. She was part of something bigger, something powerful, something controversial. At home, expectations were never shouted, but they were always there. Success was normal. Strength was expected. Weakness was not discussed. Her father built his life by being firm and fearless. And without saying it directly, the message was clear: don't fall behind. Don't embarrass the family. Don't show doubt. But what happens when doubt is exactly what you feel? Ainsley has seen the cost of ambition. She has watched deals close with smiles, and she has seen tension rise in small towns when land changes hands. She has heard arguments that end in silence. She understands that business decisions are not just numbers on paper, they affect real people. That understanding makes her different. It makes her question things others accept without thinking. The hardest part is this: she loves her family, but she does not want to be trapped by their choices. That conflict lives inside her every day. When she thinks about college, it is not just about classes or campus life. It is about stepping out from under that name, even if only for a while. It is about hearing people speak to her because of her ideas, not because of her father's deals. But breaking away is not simple. Walking a different path can feel like betrayal. And that fear sits quietly in her heart. What if choosing her own future feels like rejecting her family's past? What if success outside the oil,